we are actually doing in terms of our story. That's how we got to come. Now, listen to this now. Natiri, in other words, he needs to make, and I said in the video, Kenneth Grant calls this Atlantis. They need to be in Atlantis. They need to merge with this old world shit. They need to find out all the old shit. All the old shit, Atlantis and the pyramids, that's us. It's just us. So they need to become us. So they need to marry us. This young girl represents the new Haiti that they see in their mind, or the new Pandora that they see in their mind. Wyclef represents the heir to the throne of Zamunda, Prince fucking Akeem. They have to kill him. They have to make him his bitch. I will fly with you, brother. They have to make him that, and then he dies. So Jake Scully or Yakub could sit at the throne of Natiri or Nefertiri or Nefertiti.
Right.
Now you got to remember, the presidents are symbolically sitting pharaohs in the new Egypt or the new Camelot in the West. So Bill Clinton has already been crowned a pharaoh based upon his presidency. So he gets over there and he becomes Prince Akeem, the fucking heir to the throne of fucking Zamunda or Pandora.
Right.
The Navi is nothing but Haiti. Niggas ain't got their thinking caps on. Now, Natiri says, Iwa has heard you. Iwa has heard you. I want you to remember that, because we're going to come back to that when I talk about Jake's whole prayer to the Great Mother. Remember, Jake went to talk to the Great Mother, and I'm going to break down what he said to the Great Mother. In the movie, it was the Tree of Souls.
Okay.
And Natiri said, Iwa has heard you. Iwa has heard you. What she was saying was, white man, the Great Mother has heard you. The Great Mother has heard you. Niggas, where's the protest? You like to put up a status message every 3 minutes? Where was the status message? What you just seen was this black girl tell him the Great Mother has heard your words, cracker. What happened to all that shit? Everybody writing goddamn, he's the Tamahu. No, nigga, y'all niggas is missing the ritual. You're missing how they get down with it. Dr. Grace Augustine, at the Tree of Life, this is what she said. I should take some samples. I'm like, God damn.
Wow.
You still trying to bleed. They're telling you they're still trying to bleed you. They're telling you to your face in the movie. She's the missionary, the scientist. Her whole shit was to take samples. And no matter how you slice it, no matter if you're going to look at it, well, she was trying to give it to spiritual people. Blah, blah, blah. Well, she still was reporting all that shit back to the military.
Right.
Meaning it's in cahoots. They're in cahoots. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now Nefertiri says, she says to Jake, our Great Mother Iwa does not take sides. She only protects the balance of life. This says a lot. Our Great Mother Iwa does not take sides. Jake, she only protects the balance of life. Wow. So, this tells us when you screaming out, oh, Big Mama, the Great Mama, your mama, my mama, your baby mama, she coming to do that. That's not being heard as you being more divine. That's not, when you say, oh, the Great Mother and Goddess and Hotep and Goddess, that's fucking chivalry. That's just opening doors and pulling out chairs. That has nothing to do with you being divine. The Great Mother does not take sides. Why is there a rush to the feminine energy? Because your brain has been in balance with the masculine energy. The feminine energy is a polarity. It's a polarity. It's not a fucking person wondering about your good deeds. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not wondering about your good deeds. It is a polarity, meaning that you are out of balance in the patriarchal polarity. Is it wrong? No. Down here, it is what it's supposed to be as a form of understanding. You can say an aspect of the Great Mother or whatever. But down here, what it is balance. And that balance represented in these words. Our Great Mother does not take sides. So we are now in the masculine side, the patriarchal side, which is fucked up. But if we switched all the way to the matriarchal side, it's just as fucked up. It's just as fucked up. Meaning we took a side, or the Great Mother took a side. So they're talking about balance here. And then they say she only protects the balance of life. Jake says, well, it was worth a shot to talk to her. And oddly enough, as I talked about earlier, and on the TV, Miracle of St. Anna is on. And I just seen the scene where that dude who plays the Wyclef guy that I've been talking about for so long in this goddamn video, he just shot the white man. He actually shot him in his heart, not his face, which I said earlier.
Wow.
But that's interesting. That shit came on. All right. So Jake says a prayer asking grace. Jake says a prayer to that tree of life, the tree of souls, meaning he's talking to the ancestors or the quantum connection. Wait a minute, you're not mad that Jake is now plugged in with the ancestors? Nobody said that. Jake says a prayer asking if grace or Christianity is with you. This is what he says in the movie. He's asking, is grace with you? He said, listen, I need your help. This means that she is in with you, meaning Grace, because in the movie Grace dies, and as I said, they said she's with Iwa, so meaning Christianity, Saint Augustine or Grace Augustine,
right.
Christianity went with the Great Mother. So Jake says, is Grace with you? He said, I need your help since she's in with you. He said, with the people now I can talk directly. Now he can talk directly with the mother. He said, basically. Now that I'm reading through my notes. Now you can hear our cry because Christianity is now with you. Christianity is now with you. So now you can hear our cry because Grace or Saint Augustine is with you. Remember, Saint Augustine was trying to establish Christianity in the West. Remember, Osiris is the great Westerner who must rise in the West. So our energy must show back up in the West. Christianity in the West is supposed to counter that. So him Haiti still being this gateway to Atlantis, what they're trying to do is get to Atlantis to establish themselves at this gateway at this point, which they were trying to end with diplomacy, sanctions, hard knock life, and all that shit. These people wouldn't give, and when they and some they had to make back in the days they had to make the Louisiana Purchase because Haiti wouldn't give, and all those wars. I think Napoleon went over there. I'm not a history major nor a history buff. You know, end time spiritual events.
Right.
What it is they had to actually come to this gateway to make their plea, to tell their story of the West. Grace or Saint Augustine represents that. Christianity represents that. So he had to say, now that we got Grace with your ass, listen to that. And I'm gonna go back into that because he goes more. I actually have further down the line in my notes the actual prayer that he says, and I'm gonna show you what the mind control is in that. So again, our Great Mother does not take sides. So you cheerleading the Great Mother, you're actually not doing nothing. If anything, you're cheerleading to bring that shit back into balance, because they said she only protects the balance of life. So the more you say the Great Mother doesn't bring you closer to any divinity, because that energy does not care. That energy, why you feel such a fury or the presence of it, because it is suppressed at this point. And that feminine energy is the pathway through magic, understanding, creativity, realization, your emotions.
Right.
It is, I would say, in my opinion, and y'all can figure it out, but But in my opinion, it is the most magical side of us.
Yes,
That's why
I
they
would
decided
agree.
to shut that down, is the feminine side. But you got to understand, just because you have a vagina, you're not in the club. We come to Earth as men and women all the time. We are separated, so we come here all the time. Just having a vagina doesn't mean you don't need to study.
Right, right.
You get what I'm saying? A vagina is a representation of the feminine side. Penis is a representation of the masculine side. You may be a man in your next goddamn life. So what it is, it's the feminine principle, not the female. The female, that does not give anyone a free pass to disrespect the feminine or the female. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
You know, you don't have to say this motherfucker and this bitch. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That's your human understanding. Or your human goddamn manners. I'm not talking about manners. I'm not talking about courtesy. I'm not talking about chivalry or being gallant. I'm not talking about that shit. What I'm talking about is you need to step to the feminine principle, because the feminine principle is what's missing. The feminine principle is what you've been extracted from. So that is the pathway to magic. No panic. You don't talk kindly on women, because everybody else, oh, goddess and oh, I don't do that bullshit. Sometimes you're a fucking idiot, whether you got a pussy or a dick. You're a fucking idiot. Oh, and if I call a woman an idiot, oh, brother, panic. The goddess. I'm like, that ain't got nothing to do with the goddess. Sometimes you're just a fucking idiot. And we got to leave it at that. So we need to stop thinking that you get an automatic. You get a free ticket, don't go to jail Monopoly pass go ticket based upon just having a vagina. No. The vagina is a representation, proof, if you will, of what it is.
Right.
Most women hate women. So y'all ain't even got into the feminine energy. Now let's deal with that shit. You get what I'm saying? Most women hate other women. So it ain't about man against women. Most women hate them. I ain't got no girlfriends. All my friends are men. Because you got a patriarchal mindset. How about that? Chew on that shit for a minute while I go to the next quote. Colonel says, look, Scully, I want you to learn these savages from the inside. I want you to gain their trust. I need to know how to force their cooperation or hammer them hard if they won't. Nothing but them talking to Bill Clinton. Simple as that.
Yes.
The mother, she's also known as the Dragon Lady. She said, it is decided. My daughter will teach you our ways. Learn well, Jake Scully, and we'll see if your insanity can be cured. Very good point.
Yes. What
we call as good and evil, or the white man as the representation of evil, the Tamahu, and all the rest of that bullshit, in the greater picture is not looked at as good and evil. It's looked at as sanity and insanity. So what she said is, Mr. White Man, you are insane. We need to see if we can cure you. That's the old Haiti. That was the mother saying that. My daughter is the one who I am going to give this product. The old Haiti, it was a rite of passage right there. The old Haiti was giving the new Haiti to the white man. The white man. She said, my daughter will teach you our ways. Learn well. See, while we stuck on the old shit, still trying to figure out the return of Osiris, they saying, yeah, nigga, we trying to get into what the new shit y'all niggas is doing. The new happenings. You get what I'm saying? So we don't want to marry your old science because y'all niggas did the old science already. We need to get with the new hot bitch. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So my daughter will teach you our ways. While you niggas are still trying to marry ISIS, y'all better see if ISIS got some daughters. Some granddaughters, because that's the new shit. So what does that mean? Oh, I get it. It's what I just got finished saying about Superfly and goddamn Shaft being the new Osiris.
Yes.
They are the new Osirian energy. The be all and end all, no, but for that time, they are a representation of the new Osirian energy. So why are you reading old books about the goddamn coming of Osiris? They came. His name was fucking Ron O'Neal. Fucking Superfly, nigga. Shut your mouth. Shaft. That's all included in the return of Osiris. Come on, niggers. So stop trying to read the return of Osiris about some old shit that already came in another fucking eon. The new return of Osiris is these niggas showing up. Remember, Osiris sits on the throne of Isis. Well, wasn't fucking Teddy Pendergrass in the wheelchair? Wasn't Curtis Mayfield in a wheelchair? Isn't that the throne of Osset? Oh, these niggas ain't listening, though. Wasn't that the throne of Osset? Those are the Syrian energies. Fucking Jake Scully in a wheelchair, they're trying to line him up with the Osiris shit. Come on, you fucking Facebook scholars.
Wow.
Come on. You got to correspond your shit. See what they are doing, not to fucking celebrate it or frown, to counter it with all the spiritual warfare you're doing. What happened to all of that shit? You at least need to know what the fuck they doing.
True.
So, you got Curtis Mayfield who's sitting on the throne of Isis as Osiris telling you, niggas, I am here. Use my music to fuck them up. Please do that. Please do that. Jake Scully, mind control line. Trust me now. What are you saying, Jake? You knew this would happen? That's what she said. What are you saying, Bill Clinton? You knew this was happening? Jake said, look, they sent me here. Jake said, or Bill Clinton said to them, look, they sent me here to learn your ways so that one day I could bring the message and you would believe it. You would believe it, just the way you believe his ass now. Nateri says, what are you saying, Jake? You knew this bullshit would happen? Meaning Clinton, you knew the earthquake was coming? He said, nah, if you didn't trust me before, trust me now. If you didn't trust me before, I believe in you now. Jake Scully says to Sigourney Weaver, playing the Saints who won the Super Bowl, St. Augustine, your spirit will be with Iwa, but your body will remain for the people. Now, very important, and I'm going to talk about in the Gnosticism how irrelevant your humanity is. And that's a line telling you about how irrelevant your fucking humanity is. What they're trying to go for is everlasting life. They're looking to put their spirit with Iwa, the great mother. So, Augustine, or Grace Augustine in the movie, what they were showing with why you say, oh my goodness, she didn't survive and become a fucking Navi. No, it was a success story, or it was a winning, or it was a victory, because what they said was, she's with the great mother. And these people brung her there. Which means the Saints win the Super Bowl, nigga. The Saints win the Super Bowl.
Right.
Woo.
Yes.
All right. So Jake in his prayer, remember I said I would go into what Jake actually said to our ancestors in the movie in his prayer. Listen to what he says. He says, if grace is there with you, remember, if Christianity is there with you, that's what he's saying.
Right.
Look in her memories, Akashic Records. She can show you the world where we came from. Only talking about America, not another planet.
Right.
There is no green there. Green is the heart chakra. There is no heart there. Listen to these words. And I want you to understand how the subconscious mind hears this. It doesn't hear this on a conscious level in the context. It hears these words. They killed their mother, and they are going to do the same thing here.
Wow.
That's what he said. There's no green there. They killed their mother, and they are going to kill, and they are going to do the same thing here. That's a declaration of war. That's not a cry out for Jake to make the great mother understand. That's a declaration of war, he just said. They killed their mother, and they're going to do the same shit here, nigga.
Right.
What? Jake Scully says, outcast, betrayer, alien. This, I was in a place the eye does not see. I needed their help. and they needed mine. But not to ever face them again, I was going to have to take a whole new level. He said this once they figured out who he was. They figured out that Jake was this betrayer. Jake was this goddamn sabotagee. He was the Bill Clinton that was the same Ronald Reagan. He was the Bill Clinton that's the